21, there is Code of Federal Regulations, okay? Food and environment are always published, used to be published, now it's web-based, in titles, federal document titles. It's called 21 CFR, okay? 21 Code of Federal Regulations always pertains to food and environment, okay? And then each one has different parts. So this one is published as 21 CFR Chapter 9, okay? And it has about total 9 chapters, and each chapter has various different sections underneath that. And then under each section there's some clauses, and you're gonna read this, and it'll make your head spin, okay? And you'll realize that why these things are a little bit complicated. And I don't expect you to remember all that, just know the general aspects of it, okay? And my assessment is for your quiz and questions. So the Act appears in the U.S. Code of Federal Regulations under Title 21. All food, all of the things that we learn here appear in Title 21 Code of Federal Regulations, okay? And then there's published place there, or you can go to CF Sign and do a search for Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, and you'll find that. So Chapter 1, there are 9 chapters. The first chapter basically says, it's the short title. The short title is Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. That's what it says it is, okay? That's Chapter 1. This act can be cited as that, and it's U.S. Code 301. And then Chapter 2 has definitions for state, territory, interstate commerce, department, secretary. So, who wants to read that? State? You can just read it. You can just pass it along, you know, and it's voluntary basis, okay? Read what is the definition of a state. A state is?
The term state, except as used in the last sentence of section 372A of this title, means any state or territory of the United States, the District of Columbia, and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico.
Okay, so you know what the territory is, right? U.S. has 14 territories that it acquired while the geographic boundaries were evolving. Okay, they're all non-sovereign in the sense not self-governed. And then you have the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, which is self-governed and has things, democratic principles similar to the U.S. So it includes any single state, it includes the territories, right? And then it includes Commonwealth of Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia too, right? And then interstate commerce. The next one can be the interstate commerce.
The term interstate commerce means commerce between any state or territory and any place outside thereof, and commerce within the District of Columbia or within any of the territories not organized with the legislative body.
So what they're saying is, know the definition of state and territory. They're saying any place that's interconnected by roadways, railways, by airplanes, that's interstate commerce. If you're transferring food by any of those means that is adulterated, misbranded, or injures humans or animals, they can get you for it. So they're actually covering their behind with this definition, because when attorneys get involved, they're going to do that. Who wants to read next? Read. I'm going to give you the most toughest one, okay? Because it'll be exciting to read it, you know. Okay. Department is just United States Department of Health and Human Services. The secretary is just the secretary of that. What is the definition of person?
The term person includes individual, partnership, corporation, and association.
You understand? Why did they put all those other things? Huh? Why did they say person includes not just individual, but partnership, association, company, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't matter what that means, is there is another prelude to this case, but the reason is, even you could be working in a feed mill or flour mill, and if you intentionally adulterate the food, they can go to your boss because you don't have the deep pockets, right? You don't have the money. So they'll go to the president of the company who's got a lot more money. So that's why they included person to mean the whole chain of command, right? Individual versus association could be a group of people. It could be the whole company. So understand that it's an all-encompassing, okay? And then food is anything that humans or animals put in their mouth, includes chewing gum, okay, and drinking water. And then read about drug, though. Read.
The term drug means A, articles recognized in the official United States pharmacopoeia, official homeopathic pharmacopoeia of the United States, or official national formulary for any supplement to any of them. And B, articles intended for use in the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of diseases in man or other animals. And C, articles other than food intended to affect the structure or any function of the body of man or other animals, and articles intended for use as a component of any article specified in clause A, B, or C. A food or dietary supplement for which a claim or subject to sections 341
Yeah,
R.
so all this cross-references to other sections. The next page? But does it go on and on and on?
Yes.
So what did you guys understand by reading that? I mean, there's some sections that are like a whole paragraph. So what do you get from it? What's the gist from reading that? What is the definition of a drug? If I'm cited for using, using a drug that is adulterated or misbranded, and my attorney sits with me, he's got to understand what the hell a drug means, right? And how it was used. So a drug basically means anything that you use in human food, animal food. They're not separating those. Then there's a separate definition for human drug versus animal drug, okay? So all they're saying is it's something that is recognized in pharmacopoeia. Pharmacopoeia is just a database in the US that shares what are all the drugs. So if you have a new drug that's tested and stuff that's approved by FDA, that goes into this pharmacopoeia database or national formulary, And then when you say it's a drug, it's got to have a effect. It's got to cure diseases, it's got to prevent something, or it should have some benefits for you, okay? You cannot call anything a drug, it's got to have some effect in humans or animals, and then it should affect the structure and function of a body, which means it includes dietary supplements, For example, not all dietary supplements are drugs. And if you go to GNC and all those places, if you look on the bottle, what does it say? Not approved by FDA, right? Right? The only things that are approved by FDA would be like folic acid, because we know that's important for pregnant women and stuff. So if you say something is beneficial to the human body, you have to have some burden of proof on that. You have to have a pre-market approval. You have to get it tested by scientific panels and scientists to review the data, okay? You cannot just follow that. And then a counterfeit drug, there's another name for counterfeit drug. Counterfeit, there's not there. There's something there. Okay, those drugs. So again, all of those fall under Department of Health and Human Services. There are about 300 programs, I mentioned this already. But counterfeit drug is drug that does not have any of these effects that a good drug has, okay, that an approved drug has. It has false labeling, false information, and it does not do what a real drug does. If I have a drug aspirin and then you make something else and you label it as aspirin, that's a counterfeit drug, right? It's not the real one. You're again defrauding people. The device is anything that you put in your body, for humans or animals, that has a purpose, okay? It has a beneficial effect. Anything is not a device, okay? It's got to be used to treat some ailment or show some benefits to humans and animals. Again, those all are regulated by FDA. Cosmetic means just something that you rub and pour on, okay, on your skin. That's a cosmetic. And then label would be any printed information that is visible on the package, outside of the package, not inside. Inside of the package is labeling, you can have that, but outside of the package, plus it has to subscribe to some standards in terms of size of the lettering, position, where people can read it and all that, okay? Any printed information on the immediate package is a label, and the language is called the labeling, okay? What you write is the labeling, written part. The label is the display of the information. Immediate container would be the one that houses the food, and it does not include package liners, okay? That you have, the cereal liners does not package it. The carton that you have is the packaging material. There's some standards for all of that too, okay? Labeling would be any printed information on the outside or inside of the package respect to the nutrients, nutritional quality, or disclosure of information. A new drug, so here's the thing, a new drug, there is two kinds of things here. There's new drug and the new animal drug. A new drug is predominantly for humans, okay? And it says a new drug is not an animal drug, and something that's not used in animal feed. And this new drug is something that has limited test data on it. Okay? People have tested it and shown that it has a benefit, but it's not predominantly known. So they might have tested it on mice or rodents or something like that, and it alleviates certain ailments, okay? But it is not been adequately analyzed or reviewed by FDA, and it has not been tested with the human public. So even if FDA approves a drug for humans, they do clinical trials, right? And they have to also do limited studies before they realize all the risks associated with it. So a new drug is something that where the safety and effectiveness has not been fully recognized, okay? A new animal drug, on the other hand, is not a new drug, but it's a drug intended solely for animals, where its effectiveness and safety has not been fully tested. You understand? So those are the minor differences. New drug is humans. New drug is not an animal drug. An animal drug is something that's only where safety and effectiveness in animals has not been fully realized.